Hello, it's Dr. Brian McDonough, and welcome to the new normal. It's Saturday, June 13th, 2020. Yes, my hair is becoming a distraction. Yes, I'm getting comments about it. And yes, I'm frustrated with it. But in the state where I live, we're not allowed to have haircuts at this point. I want to follow the rules because I believe that at least if we follow the rules and respect social distancing and wear masks, it gives us the best chance. With that as a preface to this particular report of the new normal, I want to say that we as a country are probably not doing that well. I know we like to pride ourselves on pride, respect, nationalism, all these things, but we're not doing that well in the numbers. Let's just take a look at it. I looked at Johns Hopkins and I looked at the Census Bureau. Basically, we can go through the numbers. In the world, there's 7,678,125 cases as of a few minutes ago. In the United States, 2,048,986 cases. As far as deaths in the world, 426,309 reported. In the United States, 114,669. Okay, we see those numbers, and for a while, we saw them on CNN almost every day. That's been taken off recently. But if you look at those numbers and then look at the world's population, it really is interesting. We have about 4.3% of the world's population. We have 331 million people, roughly. The biggest countries are China with 1.4 billion, India with 1.38 billion, and then it drops down to us and then the rest of the world. So we have 4.3% of the population. But right now, if I do the math, we have 26.68% of the cases, 26.8% of the deaths. Now you can say we're keeping better records, we're being more honest. I mean, there's a lot of things. These numbers are just numbers, but just remember, we're 4% of the population roughly, and we're a quarter of the cases and deaths. We know that. So whether we're comparing with the rest of the world or not, that's a lot of deaths, that's a lot of cases. Now, we also know this from evidence that with a treatment or a vaccine, we can dramatically change things. But until then, the only shot we have is once 70% of us get exposed, the virus will probably die out. If not, it's going to keep coming back like we're seeing as we open up different parts of the country. The new normal is the new normal, and I understand we have to open up parts of the country. We have to let people make a living. We have to worry about all the other illnesses people can get because they were staying home and not socializing. We have to have a reason to live and not be depressed. We're not meant to stay in our homes. That's obvious. Where I think we're being foolish is we're not consistently respecting social distancing. We're not consistently wearing masks. There's all kinds of reports. It doesn't spread through droplet nuclei or contact or this or that. Listen to me. It's the same thing. I don't know the politics behind the World Health Organization, the CDC, or anyone else, but I will tell you, this is a virus. It is most contagious in the early stages, whether it's when you have no symptoms, you're just beginning to get symptoms, that's when it's the most virulent. It will spread the most when you're coughing because there's a greater chance of spreading because you're propelling it into the area. Okay, so it's always an issue from the beginning to the end of getting it from people. The way you reduce the spread is by wearing a mask because you limit the amount of nuclei, droplet nuclei, you send out to people. It's really simple. So if you wear a mask, you're protecting everybody else. If you wear a mask, you also block it from coming into your nose or your mouth. In a hospital setting, we wear goggles and face shields as well, and of course PPE and those things. But the reality is to try not to get sprayed upon, that's what you do. It's simple. When they say it doesn't spread by contact, okay, it may not be as strong as we thought initially, but it still spreads. If I slobber on something and I'm at the store and somebody comes by and touches it, you're going to get it if you touch it and put your hand in your mouth. I don't care what anybody says. So the reality is nothing has changed about the way the virus spreads. So until there's a vaccine or until it wipes out a bunch of us and it goes through its normal routine up into 70%, this nasty virus is with us. So the advice that I'm trying to give you, because that's what these videos are now about, is how do you protect you and your family? Wear a mask, social distancing, clean surfaces. Don't let your guard down. Try to enjoy life. This could be a while. Do what you can to be with you and your family and others, but just be smart. That's my only request for you and for all of us.